This is Dennis. I'm Jesse, Pig Street Properties, and it's at this point of the day that I turn to Dennis and I ask him, "Who's your mama?"
And I say to you, who's your investor?
Yeah, so we want to talk about investors and how that affects the short sale process. So basically, in the short sale, process, the entity people are most familiar with are the people they write the checks to.
Right, which in the short sale terminology is known as your servicer.
Right.
They're the person who's actually kind of the front man for the guy behind the scenes, the wizard who actually receives the money, which is also known as the investor.
Right, so to be clear on that, probably the most famous investors of mortgage portfolio loans are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Although there's hundreds of investors, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac own a good portion of mortgage notes, and so they are not in the business of servicing mortgages. They are not in the business of sending out statements. You don't get a statement from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
Right, which is why these other folks are called servicers. And the investors, and now I guess to be clear, there are some of the servicers who also happen to be investors. You'll see sometimes Wells Fargo, the big five, they frequently are investors. Although I say frequently a little loosely because what is it? The government entities,
yeah,
they hold, what is it, somewhere around 60% of the notes on
actually third-party notes are about 80% of the notes.
Yeah.
Usually it's about only 20% of the notes held by a servicer are their own notes. And so here's what we mean. If you make a payment to Bank of America for your mortgage, that money is actually not going to Bank of America so much as it's going to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or whoever owns the note, whoever the investor is. Now, in some cases, if you write a check to Bank of America actually owns the note, and so they're both the servicer and the investor in that case. And so we want to tell you the differences between some of these investors. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, government entities that, let's just say they're feeling the heat. They have been. They've been absorbing losses in the billions of dollars for about 5 years. There's talk about them being disbanded altogether, and which I don't know how I feel about that one way or the other. But here's what you need to know in the short sale realm is that you have to get a short sale approved by the servicer, so that's Bank of America, Chase, or somebody like that, and then they need to get that approved. Once they get it gets through their process, they get it approved by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, or whoever the investor is. And so it's good to know, do some research, and before you start your short sale, try to figure out who owns your note, who's the investor on your short sale.
Yeah, and if you've got that dialed in, then we can, obviously you know who your servicer is, and we can start putting the pieces together as to who we're going to be having to answer to, and follow that chain of paperwork to start unraveling how your entire mortgage goes together.
And the real benefit to this is that as a short sale listing expert, I know how I can anticipate how that file is going to go, and I can also be a little bit aware of how I should present that offer best to the investor. So Fannie Mae treats files a certain way, Freddie Mac treats files a certain way. The most important thing for you to know, the reason why you want to investigate who the investor is, though, is because if the bank owns the note, if the servicer actually owns the note, and so let's say you write a check to Chase, and Chase is the one who owns the note as well, they are actually incentivized to find a remedy quickly.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that Chase, as a servicer, can't do much to help you out if the note is held by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
Party, yeah.
But if they own the note, they can now do almost whatever they want to that loan, to remedy that loan. And so that could be, in some cases, Chase is paying out $20,000 to $30,000 to sellers to encourage them to short sale versus foreclosure. So anyway, there are a couple ways you can find out. You can call your servicer directly, call customer service, and ask them who the investor is on your loan. But probably an easier way, if you're watching this at late at night after Jimmy Fallon or something like that, then you need to probably go online and just Google Fannie Mae loan lookup or Freddie Mac loan lookup. And we'll put those links down below in the information below. So that you can just click on those links and find out for sure if you have your loan number, you can just put that in the Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan lookup site, and it'll tell you whether or not Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac own your note. So anyway, that's the tip for today, is find out who your investor is, and then use that to your benefit as you begin the short sale process.
There you go.
The end. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.